Hello, hello everyone. Hi, can you hear me? Okay, we can open the chat so we can communicate via chat. If you wanna participate at any time, like you can also open the microphone. So,
Hello?
hello, can you hear
Ciao
me?
Donato.
Silvana, buon
Yes,
pomeriggio.
hello.
Hello.
Ciao.
How is it going? Okay.
Very, very bad. No, yeah, it's fine, thanks.
Very bad. No, well, that's the Italian answer actually. Everything is going bad. We like to complain. No, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope like that this afternoon can take a better turn now. So okay, I would start now since we are almost all here. Well, my name is Donato. I'm in charge of the HR here at Europe Language Jobs. For those who don't know us yet, we are the job board. I would recommend you all to create an account on Europe Language Jobs and give a look at our job offers in Europe for native language speakers. So, I see we have people today as well, like from all over the world. So I would like to write in the comment, where are you watching us from? And also, what would you like to see, and would you like to talk about in this webinar? Which are your expectations? And check the chat so I can. Okay, we have people from Spain. Nice, Barcelona, Portugal. Okay, that's great. And who already knew Europe Language Jobs before today? Because this is also something I think interesting. We have Serbia. Okay. And well, if you all agree, I would start. So today we will talk about like a CV, how to make like a good CV. And here, what I would like to share is a bit of my experience, but also the experience of the recruiters that work with us, with Europe Language Jobs, our client, because they allow us to have a panoramic view on the European job market. So we consider it to be interesting and helpful for this purpose. So I have another question for you, because we will talk about how to write a good CV. But something I would like to know first is like, if any of you play any instrument, musical instrument, feel free to write it in the chat. I will open it here. So do we have any musician here? Okay, we have Marina as a musician. Great. So I would ask bass guitar. Oh, me too, Andrea. Me too. Great instrument. And drums. Okay, cool. Well, for those who play instruments, I would ask you, what is the first thing that you do when you have when you want to play? Like, you take your instrument, you know how to play your instrument, but there is something you have to do if you wanna sound well. What is this thing? Okay, yes, well, you have to tune it. And I think that there might be analogies also with everything regarding CVs. But before moving forward, Paula reminds that today's event is going to be recorded and it will be available on our social media later, probably on LinkedIn and on YouTube. So, well, I was saying, important thing to do when we start playing an instrument is to tune the instrument. And which are the similarities with a CV? I think there are no bad candidates, but there are candidates that are not very good yet at selling themselves. And today, what I would like to do is to give some hints, some recommendation or advices about how to tune our CV according to our professional profile and to help us to reach our objectives. So we will see how we can improve, which mistakes we should avoid, and yes, how to catch the attentions of the recruiter. So, well, first of all, Europe Language Jobs is a job board. We help candidates from all over Europe to find a job abroad, allowing them to do so using their language skills as an asset. And to do so, we build a platform that with a lot of jobs all around Europe. Today, we will talk about, as we said, what to do and what not to do in the CV. We will show you some CV and I will ask for your participation because we will discuss which are the aspects that make this CV a good CV or a bad one. And we will give some also examples. So, if I ask you about which are the things to put in the CV and not to put in the CV, what would you tell me? Which is something that should never be missing in a CV? Use the chat or also open the microphone so we can get to know each other a bit. And I think it's also more interactive. So according to you, what is the biggest mistake that you can do making a CV? Okay. Anyone has any idea?
Okay, first of all, Donato, I mean, the first and most important thing about a CV is any all the documents, because then it becomes a document, a CV in a way. Okay, the representation of yourself is trying to, be careful. First of all, with it seems quite obvious, but sometimes it is not. With the grammar, orthographic mistakes, or it might seem quite stupid and obvious, but it's not, because sometimes there are CVs that you look at the CV and say, oh, gee, it's not correctly written in that particular language. First of all, this is the most important thing.
That's definitely true. And I think that details are what make the difference.
With you are
like we can spot immediately a mistake in a CV that might be perfect 99%, but if there is only one mistake, we will focus on the mistake.
Yes, I mean,
we cannot ignore it.
This is very bad. What about, if the other people agree with me concerning date of birth or personal information, personal post address should be posted on the CV, should be written.
No, I mean, it's not necessary. I think the country and the city are more than enough. We don't need the exact address. Claire is saying in the chat also, making it too long. Yeah, true. Like a 5 pages CV, unless you're not like a top manager with a lot of experience, it might be a little bit too much. Like,
of course,
what I would like to highlight is the importance of catching the attention always of the recruiter. Consider the recruiter doesn't have like all day long to check the CV. So receiving a lot of CVs needs to focus his attention on what is important and what is relevant for the position. So we need to be able to write down the right things, and not to make it too long, not to make it too short, but being able to go straight to the point and giving enough information for the recruiter to understand if the profile is good or not. So here are some points that I highlighted. So, well, we said contact info, important, because when as a recruiter, when we want to get in touch with candidates, it's important to have contact information updated. For example, phone numbers and email, most important. Well, the name doesn't change usually, but this is a possibility as well. We said like a LinkedIn account and any other link that might be helpful for the recruiter to see, for example, giving a look at the portfolio or a website with the previous jobs of the candidate. Then I would put, well, the picture. The picture here, we might disagree with someone because I see that there is someone also connected from the UK, and you know that in the UK and in the United States of America, it's not recommended or allowed to add the picture in the curriculum. So, well, this is something that we can highlight also later because they made a small table with comparisons
I
between
disagree.
countries. Why?
Mhm.
Sorry, Silvana, why do you disagree?
I used to believe the same thing, but now I changed my mind because to have a nice picture on the CV, it's a good way of presenting yourself. You know, because I say people don't have to post the picture and then they have to post the LinkedIn profile in which they have the picture or any other social media. I don't see the difference. So what you should have a nice picture of yourself on the CV. That's
To
very
be
nice.
honest, I don't see anything bad in having the picture in the CV, but I guess it's something more like, I don't know, culture.
Yes, I know.
So
Yeah.
we cannot do much about it, but we can give a tip and advice to avoid being discarded.
Mhm.
And this might be like a good first step. So not including the picture in a CV in the UK or in the United States. So this is the point. Like in Spain, we use pictures, in Italy as well.
Mhm.
Many other countries, it's okay. Like, to be honest, I appreciate to see the picture because it helps me connecting the name of the candidate to a person. So in order to remember, it helps me a bit to make a connection, but I think it's personal. Then every recruiter sees it their own way. So it's not a very relevant detail, but it's important to know where and when use this feature. Then other two things, experience and education. I would recommend to use this order because when you apply for a job, like, it's important to know where did you study and what did you study, but I would say it's more important to explain also what is the experience and how the experience is relevant to the position that you're applying to. Then last two, skills and languages, they can go together because languages, we can consider them as a skill as well. And well, they are helpful because, for example, we're talking about international jobs. Like, sometimes we open position, I would say often, we open positions in Europe language jobs that requires languages for us. So we're looking for specific languages, and for sure it's a plus to speak more languages. And if I can see that there is a connection from the language that I'm looking for and the language that the candidate speaks, it's a plus for sure. Also because sometimes we tend to give it for granted. For example, when I was living in Italy, I felt I didn't need to specify, for example, that I speak Italian. Now that I'm abroad, everything has to be specified because we cannot take it for granted anymore. So don't forget not to put only your the language that you learn later, but also your native language skills. And regarding the mistakes, those are some things that some happen to me, others are like things that can always happen. We mentioned the grammatical mistakes before that can make a CV unforgettable, but not in the right way. But I would start with the inappropriate email address. It happened different times. Maybe someone who registered to the website or to put like their first email that they created. Once I found the CV of psychedelic mushroom 420, and I thought was very creative, very tripping as well, but not exactly appropriate for applying to a job, because probably I think that if psychedelic mushroom 420 cannot do it with like a normal email address, maybe I mean, it's not really appropriate and make me question about the priorities of this candidate. After that, we have wrong contact information. Wrong contact information often happen. Still, it happened to me to try to call a candidate after reading the CV, and I realized that they changed their number or they moved to another country and they didn't update the CV on like with their contact information. So I'm not able to reach them. I need to write another email to ask again for the phone number to be able to schedule a call. We mentioned also very long CVs, like plus 2 pages plus. And well, that's true. Mostly I work with entry-level positions, so I find it a bit too much, like to go beyond the 2 pages. I would recommend to keep it in one, because in one we are able to, I would say, not to lose the attention of the recruiter or the person that is reading the CV, and it's easier to get the important information. Well, unreadable fonts also is something that we will see later, because sometimes a CV might seem like nice to see or artistic, but we need also to make sure that it's easy to read and that it's not like annoying, like to the person that is reading. They don't have to make an effort. Like the CV should be extremely readable, I would just say. And tailor means when you apply to a very, I would say, wide set of different jobs using the same CV. And sometimes, for example, there are people applying to a sales position with a marketing CV or with an HR CV. And I see that they're applying to a job, probably without meaning it, or they're not applying to their ideal job. And in a competition between candidates, like a lot of candidates, probably the recruiter will always go for the one who looks more suitable for the position. So I know that it takes a long, but I always recommend to update the CV and to tailor it for the position, or at least I would say the area. So a marketing CV for marketing, sales CV for sales, and HR for HR, but then could be finance for finance, in order to show the recruiter that you're the right candidate for that position. This is not lying, but it's just trying to get the best out of your experience and competences. So here I put some tips that I would like to discuss with you. First of all, I would like to go back to this slide, and I would ask you if we forgot about any common mistakes. Is there anything else that comes to your mind? You can write it in the chat. And we can see it together also, because we have different experiences for sure, and maybe there is something that I missed, and I think it would be interesting to know your opinion about these common mistakes.
Hi, I have a question. I'm not sure if it's a mistake or something, but should we add references?
References, but it always depends. You can write that the references are available upon request, or you can add them. There is nothing wrong with references, I think. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Something I noticed, for instance, Donato, is sometimes recruiters, they seem not to like gaps in your work experience.
Well, I think it's a tendency from the past mostly. Nowadays, I think we have to accept the fact that it's not essential to have like a continuity, like in the CV, because maybe for 1 year, for personal reasons, someone took a sabbatical or had other kind of issues, and I think it's okay to ask out of curiosity, but at the same time, a recruiter needs to understand that probably it's not the most important thing to have continuity on the CV.
Okay,
then obviously, if you see a candidate changing job every 2 months, probably a recruiter will ask himself some questions, unless we're not talking about a freelancer. But I don't think nowadays it's something the recruiters should focus really their attention.
Okay, thanks for letting me know.
Donato, one important thing that sometimes we don't not digital. Unfortunately, there is an issue regarding, and you said it before, because someone took a sabbatical year and everything, how to fill in the gaps in the CV. Because there are some recruiters, I'm not talking about European languages, talking about some other companies that may see you, the fact that you have a long gap in your CV, they see that very bad. Of course, if they think so, they shouldn't even contact you, honestly, at all. Okay. Well, but how would you, what do you suggest to fill in the gaps over a period? For example, from the last job or a gap between two jobs, because this is something that might happen.
Well, one thing is
I do it usually with trainings or studying or some other reasons, personal. Yes, not necessarily.
I think it's completely okay. Then it depends. Like probably there is not a right answer for all the recruiters because recruiters are people. So people make mistakes, have different opinions, and sometimes you might find a recruiter that doesn't like something about your CV that is perfectly fine with all the other people. But I would like to consider the CV as a tool to get to the interview. And then at the interview, what we always recommend is not to lie. So if someone has a course or just didn't feel like working for any other reason, it has to be understandable. Like from the perspective of the recruiter, what I mean, the recruiter shouldn't judge someone for having a gap on the CV if the profile is aligned with what they're looking for. And it could be also a red flag about the company culture. If they really consider it as important. Not having gaps means that the things are not aligned, like what you're looking for, what you can offer, and what the company can offer.
Of course, that's definitely. Okay, thanks, Donato.
Thank you, Silvana. And well, here we got some tips. First one is something that I really like is the headline or the bio. So it's a small paragraph that you can put on the top of the CV, in which we can use it to explain who we are professionally, what we're looking for, and what can we bring to the company. So it can give some information about us, and probably it's the most important part to customize for each and every job, because this can really light up the bulb in the head of a recruiter. When I see that I'm recruiting for a very specific position and someone gives me a hint on the headline of the CV, it turns on a light. And I think it's a very good occasion. And probably it's not necessary to customize all the CV, but focus on this part of this brief introduction that we can give about ourselves. The other thing is to use the PDF format. Matter of just practicity. Like when I open a PDF, it's the same in my phone, in my computer, whatever. When candidates apply with a docs format, apart from being way less eye-catching, but this is a personal opinion, it can be modified, and I would not recommend it as a good format. But I know that in the UK and in the States, it's very common to find CVs with the docs format. We use to recommend Canva, for example, to create a good CV and eye-catching CV. Then we said, like, we talk about the length. We were saying try to stick to 1 page maximum in order not to be redundant or not to be too long. And last but not least, to add keywords. Keywords are readable now by applicant tracking system, the ATS, which are used by big companies usually that have to evaluate a large number of CV, and they tend to prefer to focus on the CVs that have the same keywords that they're looking for. For example, for a marketing position, to have keywords like, I don't know, marketing, SEO, or social media management are all things that catch the artificial attention of an applicant tracking system. So don't forget to use keywords on the CV. Then, well, it's actually a quote that I liked from Antoine de Saint-Exupéry, the author of The Little Prince. And since we're talking about like very long CVs or very short, well, he said like that perfection is achieved not when there is nothing more to add, but when there is nothing left to take away. And I think this is something marketing people can agree with. like about like, for example, I don't know, graphic design and all these things that requires creativity. And also in this case, I think that a perfect CV is a CV when there is nothing left to take away, and not a CV of like 100 pages with a lot of information that can make it just harder for a recruiter to go through. Okay. Sorry, I was checking the chat at the meantime. Well, here we have a first example of a CV. We use Europass. What's your opinion about the Europass CV? Like, is it accepted in your country? Is it recommended? Or is it something that you would personally avoid?
I would avoid it. But anyway, that's my point of view. It doesn't look that nice.
Mm.
There is something better canvas, honestly.
I agree. Anyone else? Anyone who has a CV made with Europass? No one? Okay, not bad. And well, what are the problem with Europass? Well, first of all, it leaves a lot of blank space. So you see that the information, they're not like condensed in a very easy to read way, like easy to read, but at the same time, like half of the CV goes only for the personal information. Then the picture, we won't comment about the picture. Is a picture taken from a document. In this case, I have to thank my colleague Raquel for helping me with this and allow me to use her picture. I'm sure she will be happy about it. And which other things do you see that are not great in this CV? Like, which are the aspects apart from the information we said and the fact that it's almost empty? Do you spot any other thing? Well, we have information, okay, chat here. Let me open the chat so I can read you. Okay, the interest, I've never used Europass, a bit outdated, Sarah, and that's true. Personally, would avoid writing my social media accounts only LinkedIn. Anna, I agree also with this. Like, there are personal information that we don't care for. And Celia asked if I would, if I consider it's recommended to keep the chronological order of our experience in our CV. The other way around, not chronological. Start from the last one and go to the first one. So last one, and then you go to the first one. Here in the CV, well, we have Viber, we have Facebook that we don't care about. We have an address that technically we don't care about. And so we wasted a lot of space in the CV to see things that we don't care about. It is Raquel with me. The picture was taken today, as you can see. And well, thanks again for participating and for helping. Here we have another CV. And I would ask you, what would you change and what would you improve? Or if you can spot any mistakes in this CV. And Iva, no, is asking in the chat, like, if I would recommend a 3-page CV. I think personally that is too long, unless you don't have very important and relevant experiences to share. I would recommend to keep it short, because when I open 100 CVs in one day, I don't want to say that I don't have time to look them all very well. But on a first screening, there are other things that I need to see, and it should be like the most immediate possible. Then it's up to you. Like, there are other recruiters that might appreciate, but this is something that I would say it's important. So we have in the chat, Dimitrios saying no phone numbers, margins are too big. Yes, I would say so. Margins are very big. From a not trained eye like mine in graphic design, yeah, I have to agree. Big margins, then there is a lack of personal information. Then there are a couple of mistakes that probably were not spot yet.
It's completely misaligned, and information is really cluttered. So the main information on the right, I think the headlines on the left could be like smaller, so that the information on the right can fit. Because I see like one line separated into 2 or 3 lines.
Oh, yeah, that's for sure. And okay, yeah, I can see it. Then if you see, well, we have work history, then we have skills, and then education, which really doesn't make much sense. We could put work history, education, and then the skills, even though the skills are related to the job, but this means that we should do the same also in the other work experience. Then we have couple of typing mistakes, like we have the double dots, no, in the education A levels, space, double dots. This is something that we cannot not notice. And after Peckham College, there is another space, probably a tab, and then a comma, which is quite ugly to see. And well, this is something, yes. No,
yes, for me, okay, first of all, I would omit a post address, personal address.
Okay.
In my opinion, yes, honestly speaking, yes. And no, the lady, there is a little bit of confusion in sense that when you have the introduction or professional summary, you know, I'm not very good at criticizing. Try to put your positive sides, you know, attitude and at the job place within this introduction. As far as skills, they usually mean things that you can do, technically speaking.
Yes.
I mean, SAP, which SAP, or technically speaking, the things that you can use, the tools you can use. Sometimes when they say skills, they mean that, not adjectives. Those adjectives should be, the person should be inserted them in the introduction or professional summary.
Yep. That's actually a good point. Thanks for sharing.
Skills, usually they mean that. What do you know? What do you know? What you can do? What are your skills? Microsoft, what are the knowledge? Basically, no skills. If I say skills, I am resilient, highly organized. This is, I would put in the introduction, not as a skill.
No, I mean, it can be a soft skill for sure.
Soft, yes, very, yes.
There is a bit of mix between soft skills, hard skills, then it
hard
depends.
skills,
like,
yes.
Probably it's not tailored on
I'm not sure about it, but that's my
but sure, like it's I think it's okay to see in other ways. And then we have this CV. What do you think when you look at this CV? Like what can you see? Because I see many things, many wrong things that we already mentioned before. But which are the things that really catch your eye on the first, like at the first glance? See, there is a picture. There are some sections, no? Education, work experience. There is something on the right. Like, what is your feeling when you look at this CV for the first time?
The person was not interested in writing the CV because I think the sections are too short. The education should follow the work experience.
Yes, not necessarily a big mistake, but the use of space is quite bad. Like, this person decided, like this example person decided to only use like the left column of the CV, then what we see, it's like this column on the left. You see with the text in vertical, that is awful. You cannot see it. The font also is not very easy to read. Think about like, I don't know, printing it out, like it would be even worse. As we said, the font, the CV is hard to read, and this is like the first problem. Then, well, we miss like the personal information that could go here on the top right, and space could be optimized. Colors could be better, like maybe better like a white on black, like the other way around. And well, then we said education, we don't have much work experience either, but I will say more on the graphic perspective, it's not optimized. So I think that it's really like a guitar out of tune. Like it could be the most expensive guitar, but if it's out of tune, it will sound like this. Very bad. Yes, and it's the reaction of recruiters. You can go from desperation to, you know, to just acceptation of what is it. It is what it is. Okay, and then we go to a good CV example. I decided to pick this CV, but maybe there is something wrong also in this one. So what would you say? Like we have this power, no? Financial analyst. We have the about me section that I personally like. It tells something about the CV, about the profile. Then we have the, I don't know if you can see my mouse moving on the screen, but on my contact information on the top left of the screen, we have the information that we need. We have phone number, we have email, which are the two most important things. We have a distinction between hard and soft skills. I don't know if you already heard about hard and soft skills. I would say soft skills are now trending our topic among recruiters, since soft skills allow us to, I would say, adapt and to fit better within an organization. So soft skills like adaptability, being empathetic, active listening, organizational skills allow us to learn quickly and to catch up in a very quicker way. Also the hard skills. The hard skills, we can always learn them. The soft skills, we have to train them. Then we have education, perfect. Professional experience on the other side, also perfect, because it's follow the reverse chronological order. We have from the last one to the first one. There is something that I like, and achievement. So do you have any question or any opinion regarding this CV? Do you see anything that you don't like? Okay, small mistake in the CV where feel free to open the microphone, Zara, and tell us more about it.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can, yes.
Okay. Just a small thing I spotted, which is the key responsibilities as a phrase. It was written as a bullet point in one of the sections, if you notice that. It's actually in the line which is under the professional experience, the last one, which is the first experience from down.
Okay, key responsibilities went in
Yeah.
the front, yes. Oh, very good eye, actually. Good, we checked this. There is a no mistake. Okay, perfect. I would say that we have very trained eyes. So thanks for sharing. Not everyone, and also in the previous workshop that I gave, not everyone noticed it. So that's a very good. Thanks for sharing.
Well, I used to work with the graphic designers to pick up their mistakes. That's how we trained my eyes somehow.
Okay, well, that sounds cool. Okay, and here we have, as I promised, like we can call them fun facts. And well, before moving forward, I would recommend you to keep an eye on the chat, because if you upload your CV in Europe Language Jobs in this month, you can get a chance to win a free CV review with the CV Makers, our partners. So please check it out. Create an account on Europe Language Jobs and upload your CV, because you can get like a free review by one of our expert partners. So here we go. We have the first block. Wait, I think it's a bit, I don't know if you see it all.
No.
Okay, because there was something I couldn't see about the slide. So let's see if now, okay, perfect.
No.
Everything all right?
No.
What is wrong? Who's saying no?
Demetrius, not all picture.
Okay, what is wrong, Dimitris?
Okay. Okay now.
Okay, perfect. So here we have the first block of countries. We identified that, I don't know, Mediterranean maybe, but not all, but yes. At the same time, well, we have Italy, Portugal, Spain, France, and Malta. According to the recruiters we work with, we put some things that are that can be relevant the moment you apply. So, well, one column is dedicated to the number of pages. For example, we have 1-2 pages are commonly like accepted, and it's not a problem. Apart from France, our French recruiters told us that it's better to stick to 1 page, which is what I would tell everyone. Then, regarding the Europass, we see that in Italy it's common. I see many Europass from Italy, but it's not very accepted in Spain. All the recruiters we work with, they highly recommended us not to use Europass as a format for our CV. And one thing is regarding soft skills and hard skills. Universally, all the recruiters agreed that it's something relevant and important to put. And things to do and not to do, country by country. Like we ask which is like the worst thing that you can see in a CV. We ask our recruiter partners, and well, we have, like, for example, in Italy, we appreciate to see the achievement of the candidate. We don't care about info that are not related to the job position they're applying to. But for example, Spain, well, lying, no bad, no good, sorry, and social media are accepted, not everywhere. But I would say that apart from everything, like in this group of countries, the picture is okay. Not all the countries they use ATS system for reviewing CVs, and well, Europass, it's a yes and no, but I would recommend you to check out the table that we count also according to which country you would like to go. Then we have some more Baltic countries, and they all agreed about, for example, not using the Europass. And maybe more importance is given to the hard skills rather than the soft skills. And also they don't care about the hobbies. So no need to mention hobbies in the section. And the same we can see it's for UK and Ireland. Okay, then, well, last one, we have some Eastern European or Nordic countries still. We have Poland, we have Czech Republic. We see also not recommended to specify hobbies. and not too much attention on the soft and hard skills. I don't know, do you have any questions? I know it's overwhelming because here, for example, there's a lot of information that it's quite hard to condense and to give us an advice. So, well, what I always say is that then this will be available, this table. This is based on our personal experience, so our investigation. It's not gonna be like something we need to apply to everything. In the meanwhile, Zara, how to search for ATS keywords? Actually, the keywords, you can find them in the job description, I think. Like job description, you find which are the keywords, so the most important things that are required in the position, like which are the skills that are mostly mentioned. And this can give you a perspective of what the company is looking for and how can you basically be aligned with what you're looking for. I don't know if it was clear. Okay, the recording of this webinar will be available on YouTube and on LinkedIn. Okay, perfect. And if there is any other questions, but in case, I will leave you my contact. So feel free to contact me if you have any further questions or doubt. Here you see our partners. So the company we collaborate with that made it possible. So I would like to thank them one by one with Foundever, Teleperformance Greece, Telos International, T-Tech Europe, Talent Search People here in Barcelona, Bluelink International, Concentrix, and WebHelp Greece, and Western Union. So thanks to our sponsor, thanks to the marketing team that made this possible. And thank you all for participating. I hope this could give you some good advice now for your job hunt. So, well, thank you again. As we said, the recording will be available from the next week, probably. And please keep an eye on the chat here. We left also some job offers that you can find on Europe Language Jobs. Create an account and just apply. And well, good luck and good afternoon.